When you think of your hometown, what images spring to your mind? Is it the mountains, the river, the ocean, the buildings, the people? Think about what makes home to you. My hometown is Canberra, Australia. When I think of my hometown, three things come to my mind. Firstly, the Canberra sunsets. Second, the Brindabella Mountains. And third, Black Mountain Tower. So I wanted to dedicate my last piece on the Quilling Quarter to my beautiful hometown of Canberra. Let me show you how this piece came together and show you the incredible inspiration I was working with. Let's start with the sunsets. The sunsets in Canberra are incredible. Canberra is known as the bush capital of Australia because we are surrounded by National Park, and it sits at almost 600 metres elevation and 140 kilometres inland from the coast. Being inland from the coast, we get different cumulonimbus cloud formations which catch the light differently than the higher Sirius coastal cloud. That, combined with being the bush capital and having slightly more pollen in the air, means that there are more particles to scatter the vivid light as the sun sets, and the colours are spectacular. So in my piece, I started with the sunset background using a technique I'd not tried before, where you take coloured card and rip the paper and layer it. I have seen other quilling artists use this technique for their backgrounds and they add their quilling on top. Yulia Brodskaya has done this in a number of her pieces, as has Carrie from Tambella Arts, both to beautiful and wonderful effect. So I thought I'd try that technique and layer up the pinks, yellows and purples of the sunset. The next element that makes me think of my hometown is the Brindabella Mountains. I was lucky enough to grow up in a home that overlooks the Brindabella mountain ranges, looking out west. I've seen the Brindabellas capped with snow in the winter, incredible thunderstorms, lush and green in spring, and on fire and blackened in the 2003 Canberra bushfires and the 2020 Black Summer bushfires. And of course, I've seen some spectacular sunsets over the Brindabellas. This mountain range is visible from just about anywhere in Canberra. I've always felt like they're a big cuddle surrounding my home and keeping me safe. They've always been a constant in my life. So for this piece, I got a sheet of black card and ripped it roughly into the shape of Black Mountain. And if you're wondering why it's called Black Mountain, it's because when European surveyors first discovered it in 1832, it had been burnt as part of the local Aboriginals' land management. The name Black Mountain stuck. The third element that makes me think of home is Black Mountain Tower, which has also been referred to as Telecom Tower and Telstra Tower, but I like the original name best. It was built in 1980 and can be seen from just about anywhere in Canberra. If you don't know where you are, you can look for Black Mountain Tower and you'll be able to orient yourself. Black Mountain Tower has always been my homing beacon and a constant in my life. Whenever I've been away overseas or interstate for long periods, as I'm coming back into land at Canberra Airport or driving along the Federal Highway into Canberra, Black Mountain Tower stands there, always orienting me. And I never knew how important it was to me until I was about 19 years old and had been away overseas for months and was coming home for Christmas. I was sitting on the window side of the plane and was watching the landscape change as we flew over Sydney. I started to recognise the rolling hills of the Brindabella mountain range as we were descending. It was like coming into a warm and familiar embrace. And then, all of a sudden, Black Mountain Tower came into view, and I was overcome with emotion seeing it. I knew exactly where I was now. I was home. For this piece, I constructed Black Mountain Tower with 6mm strips, rolled into tight coils and shaped into the elements of the building. And from there, I simply layered up the quilling elements. For the sunset, I added 3mm strips in yellows, oranges, pinks and purples. For Black Mountain, I added 6mm strips in shades of black and greens. All along the way, I had my beautiful cats keeping me company. Matchy sat on my lap as I glued down the strips of the sunset, and Misty sat on my shoulder as I typed this up. And finally, I mounted the finished product into the shadow box for display. I am so happy with this final product. I tried a new technique with a ripped paper to layer the background. I absolutely love the colours, and I feel it really captures what I love about my hometown of Canberra, the spectacular sunsets and Black Mountain Tower. It feels like home.